Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right,
I'll be listening.
I appreciate it. All right, Nick. I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's a class that we've done and we've talked about over the years. However, like anything else, Facebook has evolved and changed, and setting things up and what Facebook calls certain things have changed over the years. But at the end of the day, I feel like for every agent, you should figure out how to start to dominate your neighborhood. It pains me when I drive through my neighborhood that I see a for sale sign of somebody else. And I don't blame the neighbor. That responsibility always falls on me. Because I'm not doing a good job. And so I started this Facebook group I would say like 6 years ago for my neighborhood, but I haven't done anything with it just because of time and just, it's just, I don't know. I just haven't. It's an excuse. I get it. I'm throwing out an excuse. Well, my next door neighbors has a for sale sign up on, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Nothing
I'm
will
done.
incentivize you to move is something like that. Now, those that are listening right now, they're like, I don't use Facebook. I'm going to dip. I looked at Mike's slides today. Please hang out, because when I saw Mike send this over as a topic, I was like, dude, Facebook's washed. No one's on Facebook anymore. It's just a terrible algorithmic ad place to go. And that was Friday. And then literally this weekend, because we send over, I saw how many times I checked my neighborhood closed group for information on what was happening. And the posts and the content, it's pulling people in. So this is a very, again, to your credit, timely conversation, because people do think of Facebook as an ad, just nasty place for that's all you get. But there's really good information if you do it correctly. So I think this is a great topic, buddy.
I appreciate it. And listen, this is not you're not obviously going after Gen Zers and so forth, but you're, a lot of homeowners, especially with older kids like us. You're a millennial, but we still use Facebook.
And I would challenge that. Yes, I think a lot of younger demos not on Facebook, but where are they going to get this information? I looked at Instagram, maybe TikTok, but you're listening to video then, and I don't, maybe that's the outlet there, but I don't know of, because I literally yesterday was thinking about this as I was looking at the who boob was coming and who was washed their car and like all the dumb posts. And I'm like, gosh, I'm here, and look at all the posts and all of the engagement that's happening. I mean, my wife has a closed Facebook group for mothers, and she's got thousands of people that are on there because she's an expert in that field, and she talks about nutrition and health, and she posts, and people come to the page.
And then
for
you and I,
information.
we got one
About burgers.
About burgers.
Yeah,
the
100%.
complete opposite of
Yin
health.
and yang, bro.
All right. So when you start, for me, and a lot of this is just going to be my philosophies, my strategies, and my opinions. You can disagree with me, and I don't care because I've got the microphone and you don't. But the purpose for me, in order to build a closed Facebook group, is to get leads, close deals, and become the neighborhood expert. That really is it. I want to become the neighborhood expert. I want this place to be the place where people go to when they want to, if they're even moving into the neighborhood, if they got a question about the neighborhood, if they got a question about a new restaurant coming in, or whatever the case is. So it does start with understanding. I thought this would just be really simple. What's the difference between a Facebook page and a Facebook group, and what are we trying to accomplish? And a Facebook page, to me, it's a public brand. It's a business. If you go on the West USA YouTube page, and we have a lot of great social media classes on our YouTube page, and we talk about creating a business page for our business. Okay, that is completely different, and it operates completely different. This is Facebook's way to get you to spend money. A group, you can't spend money. There is no advertising in it. And so Facebook group for me, Nick, it's really a community, and it's a conversation. And it's building your local community, your neighborhood community, and starting that conversation, not only about the community, but with those that live in the community. So that's what we're focusing on today.
Yeah, the Facebook page is your page to post, and think of it like an announcement board. Here's what my business is doing today. Here's what we're working on. Here's what we're focused on. It is you speaking out loud and a megaphone to those that are following that page. The Facebook group, to your point on the slide, it's community and conversation. It takes a while to build because you cannot boost those posts. You can't make people get to that page, but the more that you post, the more engagement that you get, the faster that it will grow.
All righty. So here's the biggest question. Is it available or worth the effort? I know that you live up in the Norterra area, and I know that there's some big Facebook presence up there. I know other certain areas, there's a lot of, popular Facebook groups. And so for us, people would be, agents would go like, you got to identify whether it's worth the effort, whether there is a play there. So determine if another agent is dominating the neighborhood. That's what I want to know. When I was doing mine, there was an agent that wasn't necessarily dominating. Well, I'll get into my strategy and how I shrunk mine, but there was one that does pretty good in overall North Phoenix. It's okay if there are several smaller groups. Don't be afraid. Okay, well, there's 3-4 other smaller groups. I live in Palm Valley. Years ago when I lived in Palm Valley, there was 10 of them. But each one this one had 50 members, this one had 60 members, this one had 12 members. But you search Facebook, you go to the search bar, start searching your neighborhood in various ways. Like Palm Valley or Norterra. For me, it was North Phoenix. I live at Tatum and Bell, so I started you're almost like doing a Google search and just see what pops up, how many pop up, and then how many members are in each one. And you might find one. You might be in a community where like one agent or there is one group in your subdivision and there's 3,000 homes in that subdivision and there's 2,700 members. That's a challenge and that's a problem. But if there's 30 small groups and not very many members in there, there's definitely good play. I always like to do, like I was talking about this North Phoenix one, determine who are the admins and what they do. Obviously, the admin on this one was a real estate agent. Am I competing with? Maybe it's not a real estate agent. Maybe it's someone else who's outside of real estate. Maybe there's a play there to partner with them. But join the other groups for research purposes. Find out what they're doing, what's working for them, and what's not. And then you can go smaller again if the HOA is massive. Like you got a lot of HOAs that have like micro HOAs within them or micro names of certain areas. You can just go micro on it. You don't have to have everybody. Again, the ultimate goal is to get deals and close deals.
So I think that as you're doing your research, yes, it can be easy to get discouraged. When I was playing around with this over the weekend and I searched up Fireside, I searched up Norterra, there's a lot of groups, and there's 2 individual groups that have a lot of people on it. But what you can do quickly when you're searching for groups is you can see how many members, and then if you click into it, you can see how many posts per day and how many new members that week. That's going to give you a lot of insight into if these are active groups or not. If you see a group that's got hundreds or thousands of people in there, but there's no new members in the last week and there's like one post, it's probably not very active. So now you just have to do a little bit better. Now it's going to take some time, but you can pull people away if you are actually posting consistently. And then the go smaller, I think that's a really good tactic. So my neighborhood is Fireside. Inside Fireside, there are subdivisions that all have their own names, the Highlands, the Copperhead, all the different things. So now there's 7 or 8 more smaller Facebook groups for the individual neighborhoods. So people are starting to leverage that. Again, it's just if you're good quality content and you're getting good information, you're showing value, then people are going to move to that page to get more information or add it as another page, and then you're the page they're clicking on more frequently than the one who's not posting.
And then it also is going to come down to how you promote it. And I'm going to get into that because I feel like I've come up with some pretty darn creative ways to promote it. But is it worth the effort? This is an example. I picked Canyon Trails. I don't know why. Probably because I have a deal down there, and that was, so I started doing Canyon Trails, and these are all the different ones that popped up. And then you can see to the right, it gives me an idea of how many members. Canyon Trails Community Group. All right, 2.4 thousand members. That's pretty big. But then you click on it. What is it about? And who is operating? And again, who is the admin? And so forth. So I didn't anticipate that I wouldn't be able to see it in here. Like when I'm working on my laptop, I can read these screens, but that's pretty small.
It's a little bit small. And so just as you're searching for it, there's Canyon Trails. I mean, one of them is two are in Tucson. There's a couple that are outside where you were looking. So you do need to just make sure that you're being very specific of what you're looking at.
All right. So that's how you kind of begin the process. And then you can also go bigger. I talk about going smaller and bigger. Like for me, my little subdivision, if you want to call it, is incredibly tiny. But then we have this North Phoenix, which is really, really huge. So I wanted to go somewhere in the middle. If you live at Tatum and Bell, and you ask somebody who lives at Tatum and Bell, where do you live? They go, live at Tatum and Bell. That's just how we refer to our little area. Obviously, I'm not obviously. A lot of people don't know it. I also live in the magic zip code, but that's pretty saturated, and I would have loved to have gone after a magic zip code Facebook group, but I'm not going to compete with everybody that's there. So I took a look at Tatum and Bell, and then I just the way that the wash works, I can't do a full true square, but this is now my area, and this is now my target area. And I am going to just go a mile to the right, mile to the left, mile to the north, mile to the south, and now there is my target area. And so, because I don't have a big subdivision. There's not one big subdivision of where I live.
And just for anyone who's not sure, the magic area is the Scottsdale address,
85254.
Phoenix, Texas.
Yep, I love it. All right, we get the best of both worlds. My snooty wife gets to say I live in Scottsdale, and me being the cheap guy, I get to pay less in taxes.
You call her snooty.
All right, so types of groups and getting started, and these are the different kind of questions that you have to. So this is the process. So you're going to go on your Facebook page. There's going to be the Facebook menu, and you're going to click on that. And then you're going to create a group, and this is now where you create the name of your group. Understand that you can change it.
Yeah.
You just want to get it started. And so this is now where, like for me, I came up with Tatum and Bill. You and I, years ago, we went through the process of Boys Burger Club. I got quite a few close Facebook
You have
groups.
a couple. And we changed the name of the Boys Burger Club, got yelled at by everybody, and then we changed it back to the Boys Burger
That's
Club.
a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. All right. And then this is the big thing when you're setting it up. Do you want it public or do you want it private? I have an agent kind of helping me with mine, and we've kind of working together. And this agent gets, and she's going to yell at me because I'm about to talk about her, but I'm not going to name her by name. Of just like overthinking it. Well, we don't want all these people doing this. We don't want this. We don't want that. I don't care. Again, the goal for me is to get leads and close deals. So I'm not overthinking it. I'm not creating martial law in this. So, but you have to pick whether you want a public group or you want a private group. And I want people who are searching, thinking about moving into the area. I want them to be able to find this group. So I chose going the public group. And then you have, and so the next step, and this is where I want to caution everybody, is that next step to invite friends, because it'll prompt you to invite friends. You are not ready. You don't even have the page set up.
Correct.
But this might be where I would invite my wife, somebody that's helping me build the page, and so forth. But I just wanted to highlight, you're not ready to start inviting people.
Yeah. The public versus private, I think it's a great point. One of the things that I just want to add to the mindset of why you're building this group, you need to want to really love this area or the focus that you're building the group around. The goal is to build business 1000%. But if you don't love what you are building this group around, it's going to become something that you really don't like. So just know that as you're getting ready to. So to the point, burgers. We love burgers. Handling some of the comments, some of the posts, some of the messages can be a little bit much, but because we love burgers, we're okay to handle some of the crazy people that get into the club.
So as we're getting ready, before we're getting ready to market this, you're going to want to create a banner. So this is what we created it in the Boys Burger Club. Something that you can create in, I'm sure you can create in Canva. Or hire a graphic artist. I have one that I use for this, and she did a great job at kind of changing this up. But you're getting ready to launch this, but you do need to have a banner and some artwork.
AI can also build that very
and
well.
AI can definitely do it. All right, this is also the next thing. You have to understand the different roles. You're going to bring people on that might help you with it, help you with content. And so you have to understand the three different roles. Number one is the admin. You are the admin. The admin is the big cheese, the big kahuna. They are in complete control. They can shut down the group if they want to shut down. And then you have moderators that can approve posts, manage members, do a lot of stuff. And then, of course, you have group expert. My message here, Nick, is you try to avoid at all costs to have another admin.
Sure.
If you are an admin and Kendall's an admin and Kendall gets really mad at us, she can kick us out of our own group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she can hold us hostage.
Yeah.
Or or just shut down the group. So it's just a warning.
Yeah, I would say moderator over admin is definitely what you want to look at. The moderator, you want to make sure someone isn't excited about authority and they're not going to boot and block people. Moderators get important once you start to grow over a couple hundred people because, again, you're going to have human beings behind keyboards, they get frustrated about things, and they're going to comment and they're going to talk about and they're going to post things that might not be in the best values and mission for the page. So your moderator is going to help you deal with that. But yes, the administrator, there really should only be one, maybe two, if you fully trust them. That did remind me, I'm going to go and boot you out of the Boys Burger Club after we're done with this.
Well, I will kill you. And so these options that we're going through, they're going to be on the left-hand side. You go to the upper left-hand side and do the drop-down, and these are where you get all these options. I don't know what it looks like if you're trying to set this up on a cell phone. Then you got to have your group rules. I see a lot of people get really carried away with rules, like to the point where I'm like, you're not all that. I don't really want to join that much, but you can have some. You can set up some rules. Like we probably should have some rules in the Boys Burger Club. Like if you're a vegan, don't post.
That's not the rule that you're setting up. And we do have rules in the Boys Burger Club page.
We do.
You don't want to have a lot. You want them there so that you can leverage them when you need to. Again, the policy is not there to strictly enforce. It's there if you have someone who egregiously breaks all of the rules. But you should have some. They shouldn't be able to solicit. They shouldn't be able to yell and scream. No foul language. No abusive behaviors. All of the just general be a good person rules should be there so that you have them if you need to enforce them and you're not having to go back and forth with someone publicly.
Yeah, and we love vegans. We do. I was just joking.
Yeah, don't hate on the vegans.
I don't hate them. Not at all.
Good.
All right.
Next.
But yeah, the rules are important because as this thing grows, you don't want people selling to it. You want to be the only person selling anything.
Well, I mean, there should be a solicitation day. That's a great idea. Once a month, let people kind of post about what their businesses are, but that's a way to handle a lot of people posting all the time. They get one day a month to be able to do something like that.
All right, so group name and description. And everything that we're doing, talking about rules and we're talking about descriptions, I'm telling you, just leverage AI. Yeah. It will help you write all this stuff. But you've already come up, you're going to go to group settings and you're going to set up group. You've already kind of came up with your name. This is where you can change the name at any time, but come up with a short description of what this group is about. So when people hover over it or people are searching, they know what this is all about. And again, this is from our Tatum and Bell group. This is something that is newer to me. And we haven't set it up in the Boys Burger Club yet, just because I just got tired one night. But in groups, there's always, like, every week you see this post to the upper right, welcome your newest members. This is something that you can set up so that once somebody joins, they automatically get this welcome message, and it's pretty cool. So I definitely encourage you to create a new member intro, new member welcome. I like, with the Boys Burger Club, we do. I don't know if I necessarily want to do it, because I like the way that we do it, because when we welcome new members, we try to get that engagement, name your favorite burger. So it just kind of depends on what you're trying to do with the group and so forth. Yeah. So I think that's a great option. All righty. Now, customizing the group. So once you've come up with the name, you want it, and this is now really comes down to marketing, because you're going to automatically have, it's going to be your URL is going to be Facebook/ or Facebook.com/group/129461212. It's hard to market that. It's hard to tell people how to find it. Yeah. So what you can do is you can customize inside of Facebook. You can customize your URL. So now if you went to Facebook.com/groups/Tatum and Bell, you would find that, and then at the bottom center, that's what it would look like.
Yeah, and you also, I think you talk about this in the next slide, but you also want to purchase the domain. You want to own that domain, because no one wants to try to remember any of that. You want to send them to the domain tatumandbell.com, and that takes them to this Facebook group.
All right, yeah. Well, we'll get into that. Then membership questions, but it's a good point. Membership questions. You can have up to 3 questions, and like if you invite somebody to the group, they don't go through this process. Correct. But if somebody finds this group and they want to join the Facebook group, this is your way to kind of verify whether they're spammy or disingenuous or whatever the case is. And so you have up to 3. I try to make the barrier of entry as minimal as possible. I think at the Boys Burger Club at one point we had 3 questions. 1 question: do you like burgers? Yep. Number 2, do you like burgers? Yep. And number 3, do you like burgers? Yep. And we found that people couldn't even handle those 3.
No, and that was a long time ago. I think we do have 2 questions now, because there's so many spam bots on Facebook, and this allows you to kind of get through that. Now, the AI is very intelligent, so they are able to answer these questions if you make them too easy. But you would want to do something like that, or at least some kind of moderation to allow people in. Now, if you're in a public group, you don't have a lot of that functionality. If it's a private group, it's much easier to control who's in and who's out. But I would definitely recommend at least a question, if not 2.
All right, so now that we're ready to invite members, my rule of thumb is have at least 20 posts. You don't want to appear to be brand new. An optimum number of members before going all out, and I'm going to talk about going all out, would probably be around 100. You want your group to have a little bit of credibility and legitimacy. So most of us know the typical way of inviting friends to groups. On the right-hand side, there's an invite button. And then if you click on invite Facebook friends, there's all these suggestions of people that you're connected with, and then you can invite them to a group. But invite with email is pretty awesome, where if you can invite up to 30, you can enter 30 email addresses for people in that neighborhood, and then they will get an email with that link. Now, Mike, how do I get the email addresses? I can't talk to your title rep. Yeah. My particular title rep gives me this data, and I have these email addresses, and every day we'll just put 30 in there, and then we'll send them out there. So it's a great creative way to reach out if you can get the email addresses of the neighbors. So back to your point.
Yeah, you go.
Buy a URL. So Nick and I, we have boysburgerclub.com. Literally, you just go to boysburgerclub.com. It takes you to the Facebook group. Yeah. I have tatumandbell.com and so forth. So buy a URL from GoDaddy, have it forwarded to the Facebook page. Get a QR code, because you're going to do these things. You're going to do certain marketing things in the neighborhood. So people scan the QR code. It goes to the Facebook group. It makes it easier for people to find you.
Yeah, you need to be able to make this group as easy to get into as possible so that people know this is the page they need to be going to get updates on what's happening in the neighborhood. QR codes are a couple dollars a year, just like a URL is. It's a small investment to get people to show up to the page easier.
Well, I get all mine from bitly.com, and I've never paid them a dime. So
I would just recommend maybe looking for a paid version. Bitly sometimes has issues with email.
All right, so everybody break out your phone right now, scan this QR code. You challenge me right now. Bitly, this is a Bitly QR code. I guarantee you it's going to take you somewhere fun.
If you're going to email that QR code, you might get stuck in spam.
All right, so everybody treat yourself right now. Scan the QR code. All right, so one of the things that I've done...
That better be a Boys Burger Club QR code.
We do.
Okay.
I do. We do. I used to have business. I was trying to find them.
I have mine on my desk.
I got to find my Boys Burger Club business
cards.
That's how, we're crazy. All right. So I created these postcards. So this is now how I am going to go after my neighborhood. I worked with a graphic artist. I worked with my title company, and you'll notice on these postcards, it's got the tatumandbell.com. It's got the URL. It's got the QR code that'll take you to the page. And now I can do various things with this postcard. One, I've mailed them out. I've got the names and addresses to all the neighbors. I've hired some people because I don't do a lot of walking during the summer. I don't do a lot of walking during the fall.
All right,
I don't do a lot of walking during the winter. I just don't do a lot of walking.
There it is.
But hire someone to just deliver them to people's doors. When I do, and during the cooler weather, we do take our dogs for walks, and so I'll carry them with me. Or if I see somebody at the mailbox, I'll just hand them out. I've partnered with some local businesses that I'm going to place them at these local businesses because I've done some great stuff with the local businesses of marketing them. We'll talk about that. I'll email invites from Facebook like we already talked. My title company has this voicemail drop program now. I get all the phone numbers of everybody in a specific area, and I can set up a voicemail, and it automatically drops to them, and everybody in that neighborhood's going to get a voicemail inviting them to the closed group.
Yeah, I think local business is a big thing, but I think we got a couple more slides. So we'll talk about that when we get there.
All right, engagement. So your post should encourage. So now we're getting down to posting.
Yeah.
Your post should encourage engagement and interaction. Try to minimize just making announcements and proclamations. You want, even though the content is good, you want people to respond, ask questions, and ask for people's opinions. When people post and people comment, you are the admin, like every post, somebody posts something, comment. Just get that interaction going and comment on comments as much as possible.
Yeah, this is a long-term play. You're not going to get a bunch of people in the first 6 months and 12 months. You need to grow this. So getting discouraged early on is not going to help you. You need to be in this a little more consistently as it grows. So you are, to Mike's point, you're commenting when somebody comments. You're pushing those posts up by liking them, by engaging with them, and that will organically get other people to start doing that for you, so there's less work later after you put in the work early.
All right. Some other things that you're going to do. We talked about welcome posts. I love doing polls. I don't remember years ago we did a poll on the Boys Burger Club of like, what's the best condiment?
Yeah.
And I mean, it went. Yeah. People I didn't realize people get angry about condiments. They're very passionate about condiments. Yeah. What a great poll.
Yeah.
Ask for recommendations. Post stuff about holidays. Don't let that opportunity slip by. Local events. Local news, info about stores and restaurants. It's my pet peeve is when a chain link fence goes around an area and there's no sign. Be that person that lets everybody know, like they're building an Aldi's across the street from my house. You would never know it unless you had a wife like mine who did the homework and the research because she wanted to know.
Sure.
And I don't like Aldi's because I don't have quarters ever. But local events, you can do interviews and videos with people, local restaurants, and get everybody engaged.
And that is the biggest thing that you can provide value to. Everybody wants to know what that new business is going to be. Everybody wants to know what that business closed and what's going to go in there. You need to build those relationships and talk about building your business. As you make relationships with small business owners and restaurants and local establishments in your area that you're the expert of, who's going to send you more referrals than those that you're help promoting on these closed groups, letting them talk about specials that are happening, leveraging those specials with your business in mind. Hey, because you're on this group, we're going to give everybody on this group only 10% off, 15% off, 20% off if you come and eat here this day. That provides value to those that are on the group, and that's what pulls people from the other groups onto yours.
Yeah, and going back to those postcards, my next round of postcards, I've worked out a deal with we have a local wine bar, and on that postcard, there's going to be a coupon for them to go into the wine bar to get X percentage off or whatever the case is. I know we've got to fly.
Yeah.
So real estate news. This is the big question: how often do I post about real estate? Because you don't want to turn people off. And so, first of all, I think it depends on the stated goal of the group. If you've position this group that this is the group where you're going to get all the real estate news, then post all day long. But it depends on what you're posting and if members will be interested or be annoyed by it. It should not be too salesy. And so that is going to be a decision that you're going to have to make. For me, I would probably do 1 to 2 times a month for my group when we get to that point. But going back to engagement ideas, we've encouraged you to join these other groups, see what these other groups are doing and what's working and what's not working for them. All right, this is the big one. Managing other agents. So I get torn on this. Naturally, if you go after your neighborhood, you're going to have other agents in the neighborhood part of the group. So first of all, don't let them ever take the business or lead any real estate conversations. You shut them down immediately if they start talking about real estate business. They start commenting on somebody else's posts about real estate. So you have a couple of options. You can just deny them right off the bat. You can do the homework. Somebody requests to join the group. I can go and click on their Facebook group and see if they're a real estate agent. Or you can let them on, and if they do get a little salesy, you can give them a warning, and then if they don't adhere to the warning, you can kick them out. It's okay. This is your group. A real estate agent is not a protected class. As much as we would like to think that we are that important, we're not a protected class. Kick them out. Don't let them in. It doesn't matter. But I used to be like, okay, give them a warning. But for me, the challenge now is because, and I don't have a slide on this, is I do most of my communication with people through direct messaging. So if somebody posts something or I post something about real estate and somebody comments, I'm going to go to direct message and I'm going to start engaging. So if I've got another real estate agent on that page and they're smart, I can't control or see what kind of direct messaging that they're doing.
You can't, but I think going into it with, yes, growing your business, that's a big deal, but the goal is to focus on the thing that you built the page around. It's going to come, but I think you're going to have less of those issues because you are the expert. You are the one who's connecting and you are the one building value. If someone gets in there and they start posting about their business, I think it's, hey, we do this once a month on Thursdays, the last Thursday of the month. Please feel free to post it. Then you remove it. If they're going around talking about how they're the best realtor and they close all these deals, that's not what the page is for. The page is for providing information to those in the neighborhood about businesses and events and things that are happening that impact them. It's not about, I just sold this listing. So having those rules there allows you to negate those conversations. And yeah, if someone's getting annoying on the DMs, trust me, people don't like getting DM'd. They'll bring it to your attention.
All righty. And again, it doesn't have to be, this morning, Nick, we focus on neighborhood groups because I'm pretty excited about them, but it doesn't have to be a neighborhood group. You can have a group about a cause, about a charity. You can have a group about hobbies and interests like the Boys Burger Club. You can do a community of people. It could be a hiking group. It could be a boating group. Your wife's got a group for moms that want to get fit. And I don't know why I'm not getting accepted into that group.
No, you won't. We have an agent at West USA who runs a YouTube page specifically around horses in some capacity and has millions of followers on that page. There's a lot of things that you can do. It will grow if you feed it. And that's the really big point there. It's not going to do this on its own. No. You need to want to encourage and grow and nurture this group. And it's important, and I think it can help your business for sure. And it's a very good staple to be that expert in the neighborhood or on that thing you're talking about, but you need to focus on it.
All right, then last opportunity. If you want some ideas, I honestly just go to the Boysburg Club.
Yeah.
Check it out. We're pretty active. We do a lot of cool stuff, and we're going to leave everybody with the quote of the day. Oh yeah, got the QR code. Made this multiple slides. All right, I don't even know if this is a quote, but technology, Nick, won't replace great agents. Agents who use technology will connect, automate, grow, succeed. Embrace the tools, elevate your business, and go have a burger. Yeah, that was the quote of the day.
I don't know what that is.
I know.
All
But
right.
go out and sell a home.